Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Poonam Mehta. I'm a human design coach and energy healer. And in today's video, I will be talking about the profile 3/6 in human design. So if you are profile 3/6 or if you know someone who has this profile, then stay tuned because you're going to learn a lot about this profile in this video. Now, before I get started, I do want to let you know that I have one-on-one coaching spots that are available with me. If you're interested in coaching and you're someone who's looking to monetize your calling in an aligned way, then you're going to be the right fit for this, especially if you're someone who struggles with consistency, who struggles with self-doubt, and that is constantly a hurdle between you and the goal and the vision where you want to be at. This is a one-on-one coaching program, and I have a 15-minute free complimentary session. It is a mini session in which we go over your human design, we'll go over your chakra prosperity codes to really understand what is blocking you from being consistent and from this self-doubt that you keep experiencing, and to help you get to your goals in an aligned way. And the link for that is in the description box down below. So with that, let me dive into the profile 3/6. What is a profile in human design? In human design, your profile is an amazing way through which you can figure out exactly how you are designed to show up in this world. This is how you see yourself, and this is also how the world sees you. Profile is the costume that you're here to fit into in this lifetime. So what does that mean? It means that this is the way that you're designed to show up, and this is also how the world sees you. This is how you see yourself, and this is also how the world sees you. So there's two aspects to your human design profile. One is the conscious aspect of a human design profile, which is the line 3 in your case. So this is going to be how you see yourself. Not necessarily how the world sees you, but how you see yourself. And then the second part of your profile is your unconscious side, which is line 6. This is not necessarily how you're going to see yourself, because this is going to be unconscious to you. This is how the world's going to see you. And as I go through this video, just through awareness, you're going to start linking your unconscious and conscious sides, because you're going to understand why these things are so you. It's like one of those things where when your friend says something about you that you never thought was true to you, and you say, oh my God, that is so me, and I did not even realize it. That's what your unconscious side is. With your unconscious side, sometimes there's a little bit of resistance to it, but with unconscious side, human design calls for you to really accept that unconscious side, because it is who you are at your being. It's just something that you have to surrender and accept about yourself. So with that, let me first dive into line 3, line 6, and then we're going to combine it all towards the end. You are on your conscious side, you are a line 3. The line 3 profile within human design is a martyr. The reason why line 3 is a martyr is because you are someone who is always striving for perfection. In your quest for perfection, you will notice that you're always going to try to the next best thing and the next best thing and the next best thing. And in your quest to get to the next best thing, you are in a way sacrificing yourself. Does that make sense? Like, you are the martyr because you keep trying that next best thing. Because one of the things, what do we know about trends, about trying new things? When you try new things, you are experimenting. Experimenting is not the safest thing out there. This is you trying things, knowing that out of 10 experiments, 1 may be successful, right? So there's a lot of failure there when you're reaching for perfection, because 10 things may not work, but that one thing's going to work, and you want to find that one thing that's going to be the best thing. So because of this, you are going to be someone who is going to love trends. Anything that comes up that's new, you want to try it out, right? Because you want the next best thing, and you want the next best thing. And sometimes you fail, sometimes you don't. But through your failure, you learn powerful lessons. And those are the lessons that you're here to give to the world. So it is not really going to look pretty, because there are going to be a lot of failures along the way. But at the same time, when you come up rising, there's a beauty in that. And there's transformation and mutation within that. You are also an anarchist by nature, which is that you break apart the old to call in for the new ways. So that is really something that you're good at. You're someone who's going to usher in a new era. This is not something that everyone has the ability to do, but you do. Now, one of the things that I do want to call out is that when you are jumping to the next best trend and the next best thing, you are sometimes going to fail. And when you fail, you are going to spiral down. You're going to experience this low, and you're going to feel the sense of melancholy because your life feels like struggles. It feels very hard. It's not an easy path to. Line 3 has one of the toughest lives out there. So it is going to be a little bit hard for you in that sense. And when you end up in that downward spiral, you are going to feel very melancholic, and you're going to feel like, oh my God, what's the point of this? Why does this happen to me all the time? Why do I feel all the time? Why is life so hard? And you just have become pessimistic with this. You have a bit of a pessimistic outlook in life, so it gets hard. But be aware that when you're in this rut, your job is to really get out of that rut. The way you do that is you can listen to music, you can listen to vibrational audios, you can work on your energy, and through that you will spiral back up into positivity. And when you do, you're going to get some really powerful insights. These are the insights that are going to let you know as to why that thing happened to you and what is the lesson that you learned out of it. And that's what you're here to give to people, that this is what I learned. Don't do this thing, because if you do this thing, this is what happens. Do this instead. That is what you're here to give to the world. Know that there's a gift in that low, there's a gift in that downward spiral. There's melancholy there, yes, but that melancholy has this beautiful creativity, and when you emerge out of it, you're going to get some of the most creative, some of the most powerful insights that you're here to give to the world. Now, because you go through so many failures, because you are constantly going low and high and low and high, you are someone who's very resilient and adaptable. These are the people who rarely take sick leaves, right? These are the people who are just resilient, who keep going. You can throw them anywhere and they will learn how to adapt. I'm not saying it's a very optimistic person. No, these are very pessimistic people, but on the same note, you are someone who's very adaptable. Now, some of these things, right? I do also want to call out that if you're someone who is into law of attraction, manifestation, energetics, then you may have worked on your mindset and you may have rewired yourself to think positively. So yeah, that's always an option. Human design just tells you that this is what your tendency is. This is how you're wired. Of course, you can choose and you can choose to look past it and align yourself in a different way that is more positive and more productive, and however you see fit according to your intuition, according to your strategy and authority. So definitely take this with a grain of salt in that case, but this is what your tendencies are going to be. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to line 6. Now, the line 6 is your unconscious side. So this is how others see you. If you're someone who is under the age of 30, now line 6 is the line of the role model. And line 6 goes through 3 distinct phases. It's a very different line compared to all the other 5 lines. So with line 6, there's 3 phases that you're going to go through in your life. First 30 years of your life is the first phase, 30 to 50 is the second phase, and 50 plus is your third phase. These numbers may be here or there because the age 30 is based on your Saturn returns, the age 50 is based on your Chiron returns. So it depends on your particular chart exactly when that happens in your chart, but these are the approximate ages. Now, what's going to happen to you is that in your first 30 years of your life, your line 6 is going to act like a line 3. So everything that I said for line 3 is going to be your unconscious side as well. And that's how the world's going to see you. And that's exactly what's going to happen to you for the first 30 years of your life. It's going to be one thing after the other, constant failures, downs and highs and downs and highs, and perfection, getting to something and getting to something and getting to something. One of the things, by the way, that I forgot to mention in line 3 is that line 3, there are some lows in line 3s, right? But the most powerful thing about a line 3 is that it is the material way of the world. If you want to be successful at something, at business, money, whatever the case may be, you have to learn the line 3 way, because line 3s are the ones who are resilient and adaptable. You are the ones who can pick yourself up after failure and keep charging and keep moving forward. That resiliency is something that is needed, and it is something that's how you make money. You will notice a lot of line 3s tend to be those people who will end up making a lot of money because they are the trendsetters, right? They are the anarchists, and they have that adaptability to really charge forward. Anyway, moving on. First 30 years of your life, you are someone who's going to act like a line 3. Now, what happens is that when you are at the age 30, after your Saturn returns, you're going to start feeling a little bit isolated from the world. You're going to go into isolation and almost feel like you're an observer. In human design, this is called being on the roof, where you're on the roof of the house and you are observing everything. You're just seeing things for how they are. You really start start seeing through people. You start seeing through the experience and the downward spirals that you had in a very objective way. You don't really make it personal the way you used to in the past. You don't start getting angry about it, but rather you're looking at it like an observer, understanding that this is the journey that you had to go through in order to get here. And you start seeing through the politics in the world, just people. It's just a very, how do I say it? It's almost like the sage archetype where you're just witnessing. You're like the witness and you're just seeing everything. And it's a very different line to be because you start feeling different than the rest of the world. I have a line 6 in my profile. I'm a 6-2. So I have a very clear understanding, and I'm on this part where I'm on the roof and I'm in this phase where I'm seeing through people. But at the same time, you're not judging people because of it. You're just seeing people for who they are. You're just a witness without any judgments. The second part of it is that you start integrating everything that you learn in the first 30 years of your life, where before you knew what was a perfect way to do something, what is the perfect way to be something, right? But you're almost just saying things, what it's like to be when you do that, but you're not really doing it on your own. You're not walking the walk, right? You're just talking the talk. So that's what you're doing up until 30. And 30 to 50 is when you start integrating and when you start slowly embodying things one by one, where you're not just saying things, but you're also embodying it. You're learning how to become that role model in the ways that you were talking about earlier, that is being the trendsetter and being the anarchist and being perfection, right? Like these are the things, these are your values that you have, and maybe you were to an extent embodying, but not completely. And now you're going to get into that space where you're really embodying everything, all the failures, all the learnings that you really learned in the first 30 years of your life. And at the age of 50, during the time of Chiron returns, you will experience this whole shifting of the world. It's going to be this drastic change in your life. And suddenly you come off the roof. Now, before you were on the roof, you come off the roof. And here is where you will notice a little bit of a shift, where you will notice that people are suddenly paying a lot of attention to you. You are suddenly visible. Not only that, people are coming to you and regarding you as being this teacher, as being this role model, and they want to learn from you. They really call upon you. You become, now you are basically that role model who took all their learnings, who integrated it, who embodied it, and you have really finished that journey from being a hypocrite to being the role model. That's who you are after the age of 50. And here is where before you were pessimistic, now you have become optimistic and you have become that beacon of hope for the world. A little bit of caveat over here is going to be that two things. One is going to be that because you still have line 3 in your profile, that pessimism is not going to go away completely for you. There's going to be a dichotomy for you where you're still doing trials and errors, but at the same time, you're becoming a role model. So it's going to be a little bit of back and forth. There's going to be a little bit of dichotomy there. And the second part of it is that the role model archetype really doesn't want anything to do with the world. They don't invest their time or energy into things that are not going to change humanity or something drastic. They don't do that. They're very remote from that. But because you have that line 3 in your profile as well, there's going to be that material pull for you. So again, you notice the dichotomy, you're going to experience that sort of dichotomy. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is the profile 3-6 for you. And that brings me to the end of this video. So as a profile 3-6, you are someone who is here to find the next best thing, to find the perfection, to really tear down the old and bring in the new. And you do this by becoming a teacher in this, and by becoming a role model in this, who not only teaches people these things, but this is how you are living as well. This is an integrated way of living where you're not just talking the talk, but you're also walking the walk. So with that, I hope this video has helped you in understanding your profile in a deeper and a profound way. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.